Welcome to Actuate Water Faucet, an innovative blockchain faucet dedicated to revolutionizing water management in communities, especially in northeastern Kenya. By leveraging blockchain technology, Actuate Water ensures fair access to clean and reliable water sources. This initiative not only empowers economic prosperity and educational advancement, but also contributes to reduced crime rates. Our project incorporates a 3-day creative training program for community development workers. These workers will educate households about transformative change, what we call metanoia. This process involves envisioning the future they desire, understanding their current conditions, and mapping out how to achieve that future. Within the Actuate Water Faucet, we offer an innovative 8-week learning program. This hybrid program combines online and physical meetings, catering to diverse learning preferences and schedules. Participants actively engage in these sessions and earn tokens as incentives for their contributions. These tokens serve a dual purpose. They not only reward individual participation but also empower community development workers. With these tokens, workers can train households within their communities, amplifying the program's impact far beyond the immediate participants. This creates a cycle of empowerment and knowledge sharing, enhancing community resilience and well-being. Our solution facilitates economic activities like agriculture and small-scale businesses. It also alleviates the burden on children, particularly girls, who often miss school to fetch water from distant sources. Through Actuate Water's faucet, communities unlock their economic potential, promote sustainable growth, and foster a brighter future for all. Join us in transforming lives with Actuate Water. Together, we can build a sustainable and prosperous future. Welcome to Actuate Water Faucet, an innovative blockchain faucet dedicated to revolutionizing water management in communities, especially in northeastern Kenya. By leveraging blockchain technology, Actuate Water ensures fair access to clean and reliable water sources. This initiative not only empowers economic prosperity and educational advancement, but also contributes to reduced crime rates. Our project incorporates a 3-day creative training program for community development workers. These workers will educate households about transformative change, what we call metanoia. This process involves envisioning the future they desire, understanding their current conditions, and mapping out how to achieve that future. Within the Actuate Water Faucet, we offer an innovative 8-week learning program. This hybrid program combines online and physical meetings, catering to diverse learning preferences and schedules. Participants actively engage in these sessions and earn tokens as incentives for their contributions. These tokens serve a dual purpose. They not only reward individual participation but also empower community development workers. With these tokens, workers can train households within their communities, amplifying the program's impact far beyond the immediate participants. This creates a cycle of empowerment and knowledge sharing, enhancing community resilience and well-being. Our solution facilitates economic activities like agriculture and small-scale businesses. It also alleviates the burden on children, particularly girls, who often miss school to fetch water from distant sources. Through Actuate Water's faucet, communities unlock their economic potential, promote sustainable growth, and foster a brighter future for all. Join us in transforming lives with Actuate Water. Together, we can build a sustainable and prosperous future. Welcome to Actuate Water Faucet, an innovative blockchain faucet dedicated to revolutionizing water management in communities, especially in northeastern Kenya. By leveraging blockchain technology, Actuate Water ensures fair access to clean and reliable water sources. This initiative not only empowers economic prosperity and educational advancement, but also contributes to reduced crime rates. Our project incorporates a 3-day creative training program for community development workers. These workers will educate households about transformative change, what we call metanoia. This process involves envisioning the future they desire, understanding their current conditions, and mapping out how to achieve that future. Within the Actuate Water Faucet, we offer an innovative 8-week learning program. This hybrid program combines online and physical meetings, catering to diverse learning preferences and schedules. Participants actively engage in these sessions and earn tokens as incentives for their contributions.
Let's get started.
Hello, everyone. Frida, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all to this session on the sources of funds for retroactive public goods funding. And as we gather here today, we stand on the cusp of a transformative era in funding and sustaining public goods, an era that reimagines how we reward and incentivize impactful projects. And this is our second class on retroactive public goods funding. And I want to say that this is an innovative approach that shifts the paradigm from traditional or often restrictive forward-looking funding models, and instead focuses on recognizing and rewarding initiatives after they have demonstrated their value and impact, especially to the society or community. And this concept is going to open up new opportunities for projects that might otherwise struggle to secure upfront funding, particularly in areas that are often underfunded but have significant long-term benefits for the society. In this session, we're going to delve into the various sources of funds that can fuel this model, and we're going to explore diverse funding streams from philanthropic donations to governmental grants and to cutting-edge mechanisms like token-based incentives and decentralized finance, the DeFi. By understanding these sources, we aim to build a comprehensive framework that supports the sustainability and scalability of public goods, ensuring that impactful projects receive the recognition and resources that they deserve. Our discussion today will not only highlight the potential of these funding sources, but also address the challenges and opportunities that are associated with tapping into them. And together, we are going to explore how we can create a robust ecosystem where public goods funding is more accessible, equitable, and aligned with the needs of our communities. I want to encourage each one of you to actively participate, share your insights, and engage with ideas presented. And we can use the chat box to forward our insights, contributions, and comments. And with this, we are going to chart a course towards a future where the funding of public goods is as innovative and impactful as the projects it supports. Thank you very much, and I'm going to welcome our topic master for today, Mr. Wesonga. Mr. Wesonga, feel welcome, and you can proceed.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. I'm Emmanuel, and I'll discuss on resources of funds for retroactive public goods funding. Here, in the evolving landscape of global challenges, the need for effective and sustainable public goods funding has never been more critical. Traditional funding models often fall short, either by providing resources upfront without guarantees of impact or by failing to recognize the true value of projects that have already demonstrated success. This is where retroactive public goods funding come into play, a paradigm shift that rewards projects after they have been proven their positive impact on society. By allocating resources based on measurable outcomes, retroactive funding ensures that only the most effective initiatives receive support, fostering innovation and efficiency. This model is not only incentivizes project creators to focus on tangible results, but also encourage a more accountable and transparent approach to public goods. We will explore the various resources of funds that can drive retroactive public goods funding, ranging from decentralized and autonomous organization and philanthropic foundation to cutting edge blockchain technology like Actuate liquid tokens and soul bond tokens. As we delve into the diverse funding resource, we will uncover how they collectively contribute to more resilient and interconnected ecosystem from public goods, ensuring that the impactful project receive a recognition and resources they deserve. Retroactive public good funding is an innovative approach that rewards projects after they demonstrated a measurable positive impact. The model requires reliable sources of funds and sustainable and effective. Here are some key sources of funds to retroactive public good funding. The first one is the decentralized autonomous organization. Example include the GITON, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. The decentralized autonomous organization are decentralized organizations governed by the community members, often using blockchain technology. They can allocate funds to public goods retroactively by voting on which project to reward based on their impact. Gitcoin, for example, has a strong focus on funding open sources software and other public goods through its community-driven grant rounds. The second one is the philanthropic foundation. Example is the open philanthropy. Large philanthropic foundations often support public goods by providing grants or donations. Foundations like Open Philanthropy, the Bill Melinda Gates Foundation, and other could potentially allocate funds retroactively to impactful projects that align with their mission. The third one is the government grants and public sector funding. Governments and public sector bodies can allocate funds for public goods, particularly those related to societal welfare, health, and environment. By adopting the retroactive funding approach, government can ensure that only the most effective project receive funding, enhances and accountability and outcomes. The fourth one is the impact investor. Example include the Vitalik Buterin's Ethereum Foundation. Impact investors are individuals or organizations that invest in projects aiming to generate both financial returns and positive social or environmental impacts. Retroactive funding provides a way for impact investors to support projects that have already proven success, minimizing risk and minimizing impact. The fifth one is the tokenized initiatives and blockchain protocols. Example include the Optimism Collective. Here, blockchain protocols and projects often generate funds through the creation and sale of tokens. These funds can be allocated to public good through mechanisms like retroactive funding. The Optimism Collective, for example, is pioneering retroactive public good funding by allocating a portion of their protocols revenue to projects that have benefit the Ethereum ecosystem. The sixth one is the corporate social responsibility funds. Example include the Patagonia 1% for the planet. Here, companies with strong corporate social responsibility programs may allocate funds to public goods either directly or through partnership with non-profits. The retroactive funding allows companies to support projects that align with their value and have already demonstrated positive impacts. The seventh one is the crowdfunding platforms. Example include the Kickstarter or Giveth. Here, crowdfunding platform allows individuals to contribute to public funding, good fundings. Some platforms are exploring a retroactive model where contributors can fund projects after seeing their success, ensuring their money is used effectively. The eighth one is the revenue from public goods. In some cases, the public goods themselves can generate revenue, e.g., through donation fee or partnership, which can be reinvested into the ecosystem or allocated to their impactful project retroactively. The ninth one is the crypto protocol incentives. Example includes the Balancer or the AVE. Some decentralized funding protocols allocate a portion of their transaction fee or governance rewards to the public funding. These funds can be distributed retroactively to projects that contribute to the ecosystem growth and sustainability. The 10th one is the prize funding or the competitions. Example is the X Prize Foundation, whereby the prize funds and competitions can allocate funds to the public good retroactively by rewarding projects that meet specific criteria or milestones after their successful implementation. Each of these fundings sources contribute to the robust ecosystem where public goods can thrive, benefiting from a model that rewards tangible impact and encourages innovation. The 11th one is the Actuate liquid token and soul-bound token, whereby the example is the Actuate Water by blockchain. With this, Actuate leverages its liquidity token and soul-bound tokens is innovative funding mechanism. The liquid token can be used to provide retroactive rewards to projects that have demonstrated significant impact within the Actuate community, particularly in areas like water management and sustainability. Meanwhile, the SBTS can be used to recognize contribution to public goods, providing an untransferable badge to honor the signifies long-time commitment and impact. This dual tokens model support a sustainable ecosystem where impactful projects receive the recognition and resources they need to thrive. Conclusion on paving the way for a new era of public good funding. Here, the retroactive public good funding represents a transformative approach to resources allocation, one that prioritizes impact, accountability, and innovation. By rewarding projects after they have demonstrated tangible benefits, this model shifts the focus from speculative investments to proven success, ensuring the funds are used where they are most effective. The diverse funding resources discussed from the DAOS and the philanthropic foundation to blockchain-based tokens like Actuate Liquid Token and Soulbound Token highlight the potential of this model to revolutionize how we support public goods. This mechanism not only provides the necessary capital but also fosters a more collaborative and transparent ecosystem. where a contribution of all stakeholders are recognized and rewarded. As we continue to face global challenges, retroactive public good funding offers a promising path forward, empowering impactful projects and driving meaningful challenges. By embracing this model, we can build a future where public goods are sustainably funded, innovation is incentivized, and communities are better occupied to thrive. Thanks for listening. Back to you, Barbara.
Okay, thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. I'm going to invite our CEO, Dr. Macharia, to give any remarks, additional remarks and comments. Dr. You're welcome.
Oh, thank you, Barbara. And thank you so much, Emmanuel. Barbara, please confirm you can hear me. All right.
Yes, Dr.
All right, thank you. Well, thank you so much, Emmanuel. Wow. Retroactive public good funding, sources of funds. I think this is a question that we always never think about. Like, where does the money come from? When people are thinking about projects, they are thinking about money to use. And maybe they are calling the government saying, the government needs to give us money for this and that, for different projects. But where does the government itself get money from? Where does money come from? That's the biggest question that a lot of people are not willing to address, because most people think that money should come from somebody else. And when you say money coming from somebody else, that means everybody is thinking money is coming from someone else. So nobody wants to be responsible for organizing the money. See, that's the biggest mystery of humans. It is not just in Africa alone, that's everywhere in the world. That people are expecting that somebody else is going to give them money to do the projects they want to do. It's a deception. Money does not come from out there. Money is within the people, it's among the people. I look at this as words Jesus was saying in Luke 17:21. You see, the kingdom of God is within you. It's within you. Like, money is within the people. It is not going to be found there or here. You cannot even find it by careful observation. You just figure it out and then you find it coming. So that is one thing, one observation you want to know. A lot of people do not want to think about the source of funds. They just want there to be funds for them to spend. So how can you spend the money that you don't have? That becomes a big problem. And you see, that's the reason for all these fights and wars. People, countries fighting other countries, spouses fighting with spouses, brothers fighting sisters, sisters fighting brothers. Major source of conflict, because they are all fighting for what? To get the money which somebody else had amassed for them. Very serious. So, but then that was in the old technology, when we did not have the blockchain, which now unites all of us in terms of money, unites all of us in terms of money. See, like, we are united today in terms of communication, but we have never, ever been united in terms of money. Yes, if the money is within people, if the money is within you and all the people who are among you, then the key is to figure out how to govern, to get all those people together so they can pool their money together. Because when the money is pulled together from among many people, it becomes a lot of money that can be used. And that technology for pulling people together so that each one of them contributes is what is known as decentralized autonomous organization. Decentralized autonomous organization. Traditional organizations, whether they are faith-based organizations, whether they are governments, whether they are they're companies, they are so highly centralized that just attempting to organize them creates one group of people who are in the center, who are called the leaders, and then everyone else is in the periphery, who are known as the fringes of the organization. So you get only a few people making all the money, and they are known as the top 1%, and everybody else is without money. Because that system, the way the finance is organized, even sourcing it, leads into high centralization and censorship that people who are now the guys who are making the organization, they are at the center of everything and nobody else can get close there. That's the problem. And so even when we talk about implementing projects, public good projects through the centralized system, we cannot identify the true value. Just like what Emmanuel has told us, traditional financing mechanism tends to overlook the true value or the true need. What do people really need? Because what they do, they tend to fund is the need of those people at the center. So the provider of the money, whether it's the government, philanthropists, or maybe just one rich person, or one company, one organization, the decisions come from one central point. And that's that decision. There is a few people, maybe one person, or just a committee, or a board of directors. And they're the ones who are going to decide which projects to fund and which projects not to fund. Their decision does not correspond to the value or the needs of the people on the ground, because it is centralized. It's a decision by one or two people, or maybe the maximum is about 12 people. Yes, and that has been the problem until the blockchain came along. So Vitalik Buterin, way back in 2015 or 16, he helped us to understand how to use the blockchain to build what he called a DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And it's decentralized, but one thing, that every participant in the decentralized organization is a person who has got a phone and has got a wallet, like a MetaMask wallet, and that person can receive tokens. So anyone who has got a phone and that phone has got access to the network, that person can receive tokens. That person is at the center of everything. And if there are many, many people all over the world, that means that center is decentralized. It's not the center anymore, it's decentral. That's mean removing the center, because it means every one of you, every person, every individual can and should and will and must participate. See that? That is what decentralized is about. It is autonomous because the decisions are driven by the blockchain itself. A computer code is an algorithm that's making the decision about how the money is coming in and how the money is coming out. Yes, and that is what is very powerful. It does not rely on an individual or a group of individuals making a decision and saying, okay, now this is a project we are going to fund, but it is autonomous. Then it's organization, because it's a large group of people, which really the term organization could be misleading. It's like this centralized autonomous network of people. Okay, but when you have people together working together, we call them an organization. All right, so that is the decentralized autonomous organization. It is from there that the idea of retroactive public good funding came from. So how are we going now to allocate the money that we are collecting from all these people in the world? They're participating, everyone in the world can actually contribute. See, for example, we managed to put Actuate tokens on the hands of as many people as possible, millions of people. And every one of those people contributes a certain amount of money to receive the Actuate token. Okay, so that money goes where? It gets registered on the blockchain, and the Actuate token becomes liquid. Yes, every transaction, as you have heard, a company like Balanza is collecting from every transaction. They collect some fees. The transaction fees are set aside to fund projects. See, that is even Optimism Collective. Optimism Collective is a decentralized autonomous organization. Okay, by Bob Dresser of Optimism Foundation. So Optimism Collective is a DAO, whose job is to fund projects, to collect money from all the transactions from the OP token, the Optimism token, and then they feed that money again, or they allocate that money into the projects, into projects that the members of the Optimism Collective decentralized autonomous organization will vote for. Okay, so you see, so the money is coming from their own people. The money is not coming from somebody else. As we say, the kingdom of God is within you. The money is within the people, all the people. So when you're building Actuate Nation, we should understand that the money is within all the participants, all the citizens of Actuate Nation. So the money that is being allocated by the Optimism Collective is not coming from foreigners or foreign investors, or what you call FDI, foreign direct investment. It comes from the citizens of the Optimism Nation or the Optimism Collective. That's what they call themselves. So that's a DAO, that's a decentralized autonomous organization. And when you look at the examples that Emmanuel, you have given us, you will find that they are the basic infrastructure, the basic architecture is that architecture of a decentralized autonomous organization. All those companies, in order for them to succeed, let's say organizations, they have two tokens. They have the token itself that is used for the liquidity token, like the OP token itself. Okay? The OP token is the liquid token, which people buy out there for a certain amount of money. And it raises in value when people buy it. And then they have the second token, the identity token, which is a soul-bound token, or the SBT. It's also called attestation token. That token is an ID card. Why do we need, why does a decentralized autonomous organization, why does it need a second token? It's because you can have one rich person buying the whole bunch of tokens, lots of tokens, and then he can say, because I'm the one who has got the most token, my vote counts the most, or my tokens count the most votes because I am the largest investor. Now, that is not democratic. When you have one person ruling over everybody else, then he can change the direction of the organization. Instead of funding the true needs, they start funding the needs of that person. And that person's needs are not true to the people. They are not the real needs. His needs does not even produce value for the people, but he's funding the needs according to him. But he's doing that because he's the one who has lots of tokens. Now that type of governance, it's called governance, is known as plutocracy. Plutocracy is where the person who has the greatest investor, the person who is the greatest investor has the greatest say or has the most powerful votes, and even he has a veto power. He can outvote everybody else. Okay, so you can have one person changing the decision for a whole organization because he's holding the largest amount of investment in that organization. Now that is the model that has the prevailing model in the traditional finance system. When we try to create democracy did not enter in organization, in corporate world. All corporations today are plutocratic organizations. They are not democratic organizations. That's what you want to understand. All corporations are plutocratic. The reason is You see, if say for like Elon Musk of or X Spaces, or let's say he can make one decision to about Twitter or Space completely all by himself because he's the largest investor in Twitter. Yeah, and that that is not democracy. That is called plutocracy. So no matter how many people are using Twitter, one person can make decisions that are going to affect everybody else. And you see, so in the decentralized autonomous organization, people do not vote by the amount of money they have contributed. They vote by being present as an individual because it's one person, one vote. One woman, one vote. One man, one vote. And that creates what's called equity. So no matter how much money you have invested, your vote is the same. And that's what's called the soul-bound token. You see, that means that there are going to be two houses for these tokens. There is the citizens' house, which is the one that is voting for helping people to vote. And then we have the token house, that is for raising the funds, because you sell the tokens to raise the money. So the money comes from the people. And so the allocation of money is determined by the SBT or the soul-bound token, but the source of money is determined by the liquid token, which is the liquid token that is sold, that is fungible token, like the Actuate token in the marketplace. So you can see now, when you have two tokens, one liquid token and one soul-bound token, then you can invite traditional philanthropists to come and buy the liquid token. Okay, that's why you could now. Emmanuel was saying that you can now invite organizations like Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to contribute money to get the liquid token. But even if they contributed 10 million or even $100 million, they're going to get one soul-bound token, only one. Their vote is not 100 million tokens. Their vote is one SBT. See, because it's one source, and that is what makes this completely democratic. Now, instead of having now the plutocracy, where the person who contributes the most money gets all the votes, even if he contributes $100 million, that person gets one soul-bound token, which is an ID. For example, similarly, even if you have $100 million in Kenya, you don't get 100 million identity cards. You get only one ID. So that ID is the one that you use for voting. And the voting is to vote to allocate the money to the project. So what happens in this, these deals, for example, the Optimism Collective, is that people are going to submit proposals about the projects that they would like to get funded. These proposals are going to be written explaining the successes that have been achieved in this kind of work and why we would like to request for more funding. So it's request for funding, proposals to request funding. And so it's a public request. Then everyone, all the citizens are asked to vote. And if there are about 6 proposals, maybe only one is going to get majority vote, and that is the proposal that's going to get funded. Now the funding is automatic, is autonomous, because it's going to be a smart contract that is programmed such that if this vote receives, if the proposal receives the largest amount of votes, the highest number of votes, that is the one that's going to get automatically receive the funding. You see that? So everything becomes highly autonomous. that it's a smart contract program all the way, and this is what we're going to be doing a whole lot of next year, programming the smart contracts for retroactive public good funding, so that people can show this is where we need funding for the water project and water projects, and this is the projects need to be funded, because there are so many projects that are out there, but you have to prepare a project proposal, a request for funding. Okay, that request for funding comes in, it's reviewed by all the citizens, and then they vote. And the one that's going to receive the majority votes through the SBT. And by the time of voting, every single citizen will have received SBTs. And SBTs are going to be received by those people who are already holders of Actuate token, the liquid token itself. Because you cannot have people who do not have Actuate liquid tokens coming to vote. They are not citizens. So first of all, people become citizens, and they are holders of Actuate token. They are participants, they have liquid token. And from there, they are going to receive the SBT, and we shall give you information about when this SBT will be rolled out. This is going to be from January 2025. They're going to be rolling out the SBT, and then you can vote for the proposals for the project. So it means that the money that we need to fund water projects is not going to, it will not come from the European Union or from the CCCP of China, the Communist Party of China, or even from Russia or Ukraine or wherever. The money is within us. It is just not bound together, and we have one token that is going to help us bind it. That money is scattered all over the place. And what I will tell you is that when money is scattered all over the place, it's like a river flowing all the way from the mountain down to the Indian Ocean, all the way. But that river, nobody is stopping that water to generate electricity, electrical energy. All you have to do is do what? Build a dam. A dam is a wall, a very big wall, which is very tall, which is about how many? 40 meters up, and very strong, to stop that water from going all the way to the Indian Ocean, so that that water can do another job. Then at just the very bottom, somewhere on that wall, you put a turbine, and that turbine is generated as that water is trying to escape from that dam. And when that water hits the turbine, it rotates the turbine, and that turbine is connected to a dynamo, and the dynamo generates electricity that everybody has got electricity in the country. See that? It is something called engineering. So the same thing about money. Money is always floating around, just like water flowing down to the ocean. But if you don't stop it by building a dam, you can never get electricity. Hydroelectricity does not come from water, but it comes from the potential energy that is done what? That is inside the water itself, the movement of water. Okay, that potential energy moves dynamos and turns it into kinetic energy. It's that kinetic energy that becomes electricity. Okay, so it becomes electrical energy. Nobody has ever seen electricity with his own eyes. What is it? You can't see it. So even money is like that. Funding is like that. Precisely like that. Nobody has ever seen where the money comes from. Just like electricity, where does electricity come from? This water has been flowing like that forever and ever since creation of the world. But you have to build a dam, and then put turbines, and then with dynamos, so that electricity can manifest. So somebody can ask you, what is the source of electricity? And you say, I don't know, because it's the same thing. Now, what we are saying here is that a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, has those two technologies that operate. One is the turbine that is spinning. The other one is the dynamo that is converting all that energy of people together, the potential of people together into something kinetic. Kinetic means movements, and that kinetic movement transmutates into another form of energy that people have never seen. And that is the funding we are talking about allocating to projects. So long as we understand that. So I am here with all engineers. All of you, you want to consider yourself an engineer. Or you want to put your mindset of an engineer. Yeah, put your mindset of an engineer right now in your head so that you can see how that process works. There is nothing complicated. All it needs is for you to pay attention to every step of the way. And that way, we shall never, just like you have water always flowing out in the country, flowing down the Indian Ocean, then we complain that we don't have enough electricity. Now, who is to blame for that? Is it that the electricity is not there because there's no water, there are no rivers? Or is it because we are not doing the right thing? We're putting that dynamo, putting the turbines, building the dam to put the turbines, and then we can allow. This thing is not done by anybody from outside yet. So it's us. We have to do it. And you will see when you do that, magic happens, that things that seems impossible just begin happening as if by magic. That's what I would like to add about that, so that we can all appreciate ourselves, knowing that the source of funds is not external to ourselves. The source of fund is within ourselves. But those funds are not in nature of funds. They're in potential states. Just like water itself is not electricity. Electricity is locked in water in form of energy. So you have that energy, and we all have that energy to become a very live source of funds. And those funds, we cannot get them unless we understand the nature of the decentralized autonomous organization, the engineering. It's an engineering project, just like a dam. It's an engineering project. So what I want to ask all of you to do is study deeply, as what Vitalik Buterin talked about, decentralized autonomous organization. Learn its fundamentals, the basics of the engineering of a decentralized autonomous organization, the role of the liquid tokens, such as Actuate token, and the role of the soul-bound token, the SBTs, and what they do to create that dynamo that transmutates all the potential energy you have scattered among people in the whole country into one major kinetic energy that is for funding projects. Very powerful. If we do not get that, we have nobody else to blame but ourselves. You see, as it is written, the kingdom is within you. You will not find it by careful observation. You just have to believe that the kingdom is inside you, and then you make it what? You make it manifest. That kingdom that is within you is what's called your potential. So everyone in Actuate Nation is the very source of funds that we say we do not have. Everyone. That's the answer to that question. Everyone is a source of funds that we all say we do not have. Yeah, but then it will take imagination. As we keep saying, what is lacking, what is scarce is not water or anything. We have something called scarcity of imagination. So we employ that. All right, back to you, Barbara. Let's study the DLOs and how they operate. And in fact, it would be good that you study all the DLOs that have ever been created and see how they are doing their work successfully. Okay, back to you, Barbara.
Thank you very much, Daktari, for that wonderful presentation. Somehow it was a presentation, and we appreciate you making time to our sessions every day. and I want to speak briefly about the summit. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us today, and I am excited to remind you about the upcoming Actuate Nairobi Summit 2024. And I'm going to share some important updates about the summit, and I want to start by saying that it's going to be a transformative event, and we want to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to participate and contribute. Let's start with the essentials. The Actuate Nairobi Summit is going to take place from December 3rd to 6th, 2024, and our venue is the prestigious Kenyatta University in Nairobi, Kenya. And the summit is focused on leveraging blockchain, artificial intelligence, DeFi, and other cutting-edge technologies to address the critical issues in health and human development. And for our foresight, it's going to be the critical issues in water management, water access across Africa and beyond. We are thrilled to announce that we already have confirmed 100 high-profile speakers from around Kenya and around the world. And these are experts and leaders who come from diverse fields, including technology, finance, public policy, and environmental sustainability. And that also includes health. And they're going to bring invaluable insights and share innovative solutions that can drive real change in Kenya, in Africa, and beyond, like I said earlier. And there are several ways you can be able to participate in this event. First is by attending the summit. You can join us in Nairobi to network with industry leaders, learn from the experts, and explore new partnerships. Secondly, you can become a speaker or a panelist. If you have expertise to share, and there are still opportunities for you to come to the program and contribute to it, you can reach out to us if you're interested in speaking. Thirdly, you can exhibit your innovations. This is by showcasing your products, services, and solutions to a global audience by securing an exhibition space, or what Daktari calls the booth. And then number 4, you can sponsor the summit. This is by you can be able to sponsor the summit and you'll gain visibility and demonstrate your commitment to innovation and sustainability by sponsoring the event. You can also sponsor a faucet. We have 9 faucets and you can sponsor any that aligns with your interests and needs. And then we also offer a range of sponsorship packages that can suit your needs. Something else, sorry about that network hitch. Something else, this summit is going to be more than just a conference. It's going to be a platform for action. And by participating, you're contributing to meaningful discussions that can lead to real world solutions. And you'll have the chance to influence policy, collaborate on groundbreaking projects, and make connections that could drive your initiatives forward as an individual, as an organization, or as a company. And then I want to encourage everyone to register today for the summit. If you haven't, you can join as an attendee, paying the required amount of fees. And then spaces are filling up very fast, and we want to ensure that everyone has a seat at the table. And you can do that by visiting our website. I have shared the link to our website to sign up, explore the agenda, and learn more about how you can get involved. Let us work together so that we make this summit a success. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone at the Nairobi Summit this December for what promises to be an inspiring and impactful event. Thank you very much, everyone. And if you have any questions or you need more information, please do not hesitate to reach out. You can contact us at info@actuate.bio, or you can visit our website. The link is in the chat box. And thank you very much, everyone. Dr.
All right, thank you so much, Barbara, for reminding us again, giving us the entire spiel on the summit. Now, for all the people who are here today, I think what we invite you, because today we are on water, you have the opportunity to write the most innovative project on water, which you can present. Water is a big deal because water is life, as we have talked about before. And we have another technology that is a big deal just as water, which is known as blockchain. So these are two big deal technologies, okay? Big deal. Because the water availability or use of water, or even life itself, is decentralized. And the blockchain is the technology for decentralization. So those things correspond with one another 100%. Then there's a problem. A lot of people in this world, you could say almost 99.9% of the population in the world does not comprehend that. Make a poster about that, how they work the blockchain. As we have been talking about in these sessions in water on the blockchain, make a poster that is compelling, explaining to people how decentralized blockchain will solve the problem we call scarcity of water. Water is not scarce. Yeah. And blockchain, we use blockchain in a very imaginative way. You will see that scarcity disappearing and abundance manifesting. Okay. How can we have abundance of water when you have by abundance by using the abundant information? Information is abundant, it's only we don't use it. And information, the only way to use it is use the technology for information, which is known as the most advanced technology for innovation, for technology for information, is the technology for innovation, the information of value, which is called blockchain or crypto tokens. Okay, that technology of value. So there is a way you can put that poster there. It's an idea that's very innovative. You present to the people, and then you will get worldwide support for that. Because no one is going to support you for an idea you have not shown to them. Okay? Like you say, speak up so that people can hear you. When you speak, people shall hear. So the way you speak, you have the opportunity to do that in the summit by coming to present your most innovative idea. The idea is not very complicated. First of all, just thinking, taking a deep breath and thinking, okay, water is decentralized. Life is decentralized. What is decentralized today? Is the blockchain technology for decentralizing value allocation. How can you tie those together to create a new transformative idea? That's what it is. So you get things called breakthroughs like that. You see, things that are seen are made of things that are not seen. Okay, and some of those things you shall never see them with your own eyes. You should just have the evidence that the thing is actually there. For example, electricity. Nobody has ever seen electricity with his eyes. But you can tell this the evidence of electricity because when you flip the switch, the lights come on. Okay? How do you know it was electricity? What does it look like? Is it green, yellow? Is it blue, indigo? Nobody knows. Does it have weight? Is it 2 kilos, 1 kilo? How big is it? Is it 10 meters or 5 meters? It has no physical dimensions. And yet we see it only because somebody was able to think about things that are not seen. Okay. So those things that are not seen are they are profound, they are deeply embedded inside your consciousness. They're inside you. Those things are not seen. And you cannot actuate those things. Remember, the word here is actuating. Is actuating that thing that is not seen so that it can bring things that can be seen. You want to actuate out of your consciousness. Make a poster Make a poster that is mind-blowing. Well, mind-blowing that people are going to say, oh my God, we have never thought of that. Yeah. And then, so I'm looking forward to seeing such mind-blowing, amazing posters. It doesn't mean that you have to break your brain. You have to break your, because that thing is already there inside you, inside you, inside you. Read again, Luke 17:21. See, the kingdom of God is inside you. You cannot gain access to that by running, doing, or even whatever, but you can gain access to it by being still, waiting for it, and then just it comes to you like the thief in the night. Say, aha, yeah. So, but it cannot come to you unless you want it to come. We want you to create that poster. You have it in yourself. When you create that, all these things that you see around here that have been made by people, you know, about electricity, we already talked about that, but there's so many other things. So for example, like WhatsApp, even like Zoom, the Zoom meeting, it came from somebody's consciousness. Where did it come from? So we are now on Zoom. We use Google Meet. We send emails. We send money with PayPal. We do M-Pesa. We do things like that. None of those things was seen before they were seen. And you cannot say they were there, somebody just was walking along the street of Nairobi and then saw M-Pesa and said, okay, let's have M-Pesa. Where does that come from? You have it inside you. We want you. We want you. We want you to settle down, bring out that idea out. And when it comes out, pour it on a poster. Let it pour down. It's like a paint. Let it pour down there. And then you paint it on a poster. And then we show the world what you have brought out of your gray matter. The gray matter is your brain. But if you look at the gray matter, you can't find it there by looking with a microscope. Where is it? You can't see it by looking with a microscope in your gray matter, but it is sitting right there. That's why it's written, the kingdom is within you. Okay? So seek ye first that kingdom with all its righteousness, the right things, with all its righteousness, and then you see how everything else is going to align for you. It's written, everything else, all those things you've been looking for are going to be added unto you. This is a big opportunity for you to do that, to participate and shine. Yeah, and of course, when you do that, you don't have to spend any money because money is spent on you. This is what we are saying. The money we are talking about, sources of funds, they are not out there. The source of the money is inside you. You're like a fountain. You're a fountain, a resource that is permanent and living, unless you do not want to activate that. That takes serious discipline. Like, what does it take to get there? So that you can now start creating instead of saying, okay, who's going to create for me? There is no other creator. You are the one. You are the one. You want to bring that creator within. And you see that the workshops themselves, I mean, the summit itself is going to be about profound networking for actuating the creator within on every one of us. So we want you to actuate that creator. That creator is inside you. You just need to be shaken to rise up. It needs to move. You know, that movement in your consciousness is needed for it to happen. It's written in Genesis 1 that the spirit has to move above the waters. The spirit moves above, that Genesis 1 verse 2. The spirit moves above the waters. And then you say, let there be light. And then you can shine light for all of us to see. That light to be shining is going to be on a poster, on your poster, all right? You say, let there be light, and there will be light. So that's what I would like to add to you, that be the creator. And so the summit itself is about actuating the creator within. That creator does not spontaneously actuate, it doesn't write on its own. The rising of your creator is not spontaneous. It is intentional. Your spirit has to move in that phenomenon known as metanoia. So you have something moving inside yourself. So inside your consciousness, then what causes to move is for you admitting to yourself that you actually the answer to this question of how can we make water available for all of us. It's inside you. You know the answer. You know the answer already. That's why you went to school to learn all that. You're collecting all that knowledge. You have it. Don't keep it to yourself. Nobody else is going to suffer if you don't share it with us. It's just, we are not going to have it. And maybe it will come maybe 200 years later. But why should we wait for 200 years when you are right here with us today, and you move your spirit so that you can shed light for us, as it is written. Okay, so I think that's really what you want to do, and don't think it's a challenge. It's something you already know how to do. It's not challenging if you already know how to do it. It's just admitting that knowledge, okay, and believing that you can do it. Because all that is admitted, all that you admit to your consciousness will become manifest by the light. See, that is the point. All that you admit that now I have the answer and I know it, I'll put it up. And do not have any iota of doubt that your idea is not the good idea. Don't let anyone, when I mean anyone, I mean yourself. Don't let yourself, like your other self, tell you, oh no, you cannot get through this, you can't get through this. Now, that is always going to be coming out of your mind, not even your sister or your brother or your other friends. It is yourself telling yourself you're not good enough for that. You are already great, okay? You're already great, and you have all that inside you. And anyone who tells you something different, just forgive them, for they do not know what they are talking about. Forgive them, and then you move on, create something. Create something, come and show us, because you have the creator within you. And thus the idea is to actuate that creator within our people, so that we stop complaining about all the poverty, about scarcity, but we become the creators of the solutions to the problems that you're facing every day. All right, that's what I would like to add, Barbara. So that I'm expecting from the water team about 100 posters. That'd be beautiful. Okay, back to you, Barbara.
Thank you very much, Dr. And I think everyone now has the information concerning the summit and how they can be able to participate. So the session has come to a close, and I want to appreciate everyone for making time to the meeting. And this is the last cohort, the last session for cohort 1, and we shall be beginning the next cohort, and I'll be able to communicate when cohort 2 begins. Thank you very much, everyone, for being actively present in the first cohort up to the very end. And until we begin our next session, I'll be in communication and we shall continue with the same things. So we are having the blockchain class from 8 p.m. Don't miss out. And I have already shared the attendance form so people can fill it out. So the meeting is adjourned.